Nurses.
School nurses, okay. And you are, who are you?
Oh, you know who I am.
No, I don't.
You don't? Oh.
No.
I go around filming politicians in the area, legislators, mayors.
And are you a resident here in our district?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes. I want to talk about some unethical things that were happening during one of the bills that was come for hearing in a committee.
Okay, we'll get to it.
It was unethical things.
Okay.
First of all, I find it kind of insulting that I was kind of singled out earlier asking who I am and if I'm in the district. I didn't hear you ask that of anybody else. But to my question here, leading up to the hearing on SB 1551, that was the gun bill, the chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee, Floyd Prozanski, there were several things that transpired around that time that I'm sure anybody, regardless of if you agree with a certain bill or a party affiliation or whatever, would probably find unethical here. First of all, a week before the hearing, he tipped off special interest groups as to when the hearing would be, yet it was not posted on a public site until 2 days before the hearing. And during that time, he arranged for travel for an out-of-state testifier to come in. And then during the actual testimony, he was calling up the in-favor testifiers by pre-arranged groupings. They all had, you know, some kind of affiliation with each other, all three of them each at a time. So he obviously knew all of these people coming up, and it was all pre-arranged. He also. Yeah, yes, I do. I'm just sort of reading down the list of accusations here. He also allowed testimony from all of those in favor, and only about half he heard from those opposed. And then during the invited testimony part, he started calling people childish names who were opposed to the bill. It's all on video. It's all up on YouTube. And then also he had invited up someone from the Oregon State Police to talk about statistics with background checks and whatnot. And that alone is breaking the law because OSP, by law, cannot reveal any data about background checks. And then one gentleman...
We'd like to hear your question.
Okay, she got to talk for a long time, and she talked for a while, so... Yes, I realize that.
Yeah.
So, and then my last part of it here is there was a gentleman who stood up and protested the out-of-state testifier who was tipped off, and he had travel arranged for by Mr. Prozanski. So this one guy stood up and said, "Hey, I object to this testimony." And the people from the state police, they were just staring right down at him, and that was extremely intimidating to anybody who was watching this. So I'm just wondering, do you guys think this is ethical behavior by Floyd Prozanski, or would you guys condemn this kind of behavior?
I think that's a great question, and we'll get back to it.
It's a yes or no question. Do you condone it or do you condemn it?
I was there that day too. When I saw it happen.
Do you think this is ethical? Do you think it's unethical?
And I had signed up to testify that day as well.
So I will just try to answer your question. I didn't see the whole hearing. I watched part of it. I think that was an issue where there were way more people wanting to testify than there ever would have been time to allow. Some of the testimony that morning included Mark Kelly, the astronaut, the husband of Gabby Gifford, the congresswoman who's still recovering from her injuries from Arizona, who had traveled at his own expense to be in Oregon. And there were panels back and forth, supporters of the bill, of opponents of the bill. When we have legislation that a lot of people care about, we cannot go on always for as long as it takes to hear from everybody. I will tell you, on that and other issues, we try very, very hard to have hearings that accommodate everybody. We also make sure, and I think have done a very good job of this, of making sure that people who want to do written testimony can do that through the internet, through our offices. I mean, I can't.
But that was just one aspect of it. He's tipping off special interest groups about this. Do you think it's unethical, or do you condemn this? It's a yes or no question is what I have, yes.
Because what happened that day is people got up and started shouting while other people were trying to testify. That is not.
That is untrue. That's not true.
That's not the way we ever.
You just lied. Either you don't know what you're talking about, or you're lying to us.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
I have it all on video. I'll welcome you to come and we can watch it together. And you can point out these parts.
So we're going to take one more question of those questions.
You're not going to answer my question of if you think those tactics from Prozanski are ethical or not. By not answering, that means you're complicit in these unethical practices. I'm trying to get my question answered.
Department of Revenue, new people to hire. Department of Revenue.
Okay.
Gordon?
As you, I'm sure you know.